This news program is proudly brought to you by
Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits
and Now Biscuits.
Opening of new caving terminal. Manu set for East-West Highway redevelopment. And new container vessel for Octedi Mining Limited. Good evening, you're watching National EMTV News. I'm Grace Papiali. Thank you for joining us. Caving Town rolled out the red carpet for the Prime Minister, James Marape, and a large delegate from Port Moresby in the opening of the Caving Airport. The upgrade of the Caving Airport terminal and infrastructure to a state-of-the-art facility has changed the face of Caving Town, with the people now urged to be proud of the new facility and take ownership of it, which will bring a return to the economy of the New Ireland province.
A large delegation led by the local MPs, Civil Aviation Minister Walter Schnoebelt and Treasurer Ian Lynn Starkey, that included the Prime Minister James Marape, arrived on the Air Niugini Boeing 737 jet to a red carpet welcome for the opening of the upgraded Caving terminal and infrastructure. The Prime Minister James Marape, flanked by the two local MPs, was traditionally welcomed by the Mai Mais in a colourful, rousing reception. The Caving Airport upgrade was built at a cost of 125 million kina, of which the funds would derive through a concessional loan by the national government through the Asian Development Bank, in which 91% of the funds was given by ADB and 9% by the national government.
From the perspective of the Ministry of Treasury, airport upgrades are expensive and require great expertise. This is why the national government with the NAC have been so proud to have worked with the Asian Development Bank to get this airport finally completed. Thank you, Tomas.
The new state-of-the-art facility has a VIP lounge and a spacious passenger capacity up to 200 seats. These also include passenger check-in counters, an arrival lounge with conveyor belt for baggage screening machines, closed-circuit cameras, a kiosk, toilets and other facilities. The Caving Airport project was implemented through the National Airports Corporation's Civil Aviation Development Investment Program, or CADIP, and the Minister responsible for Civil Aviation and Transport, Walter Schnoebelt, urged the people to take care of the new facilities.
I appeal to along your line to New Ireland and the travelling public. Please look out in Terminal Yumi.
The Prime Minister James Marape confident that his government had made the right investment in upgrading the airport for Caving.
And be like people of New Ireland, you enjoy him this moment, you deserve him this plan, now more yet. Out of New Ireland province, planting missionary, he go out throughout the length and breadth of our country. Out of New Ireland province, planting public servant, he go out to the length and breadth of our country. Out of New Ireland province, plenty resource too, including before resource, before Leary come up. You may get fish, you may get cacao, you may get copra.
With the upgrade of the Caving Airport, the national government hopes that more tourists, both international and local, will come to Caving and experience Pilas Peles. Rocky Iso, National EMTV News, Caving, New Ireland Province.
Meanwhile, the absence of elder statesmen and New Ireland Provincial Governor Sir Julius Chen was noticeable at the Caving Airport opening. Sir Julius Chen, in a statement made 7 days ago, chose to pull out of the opening because of the continuous deferrals to the open of the airport. The Prime Minister James Marape took the time in his keynote address to state the reason for the deferrals and apologize to Sir Julius Chen and the people of New Ireland for the delays.
Let me apologize sincerely to Sir Julius and the New Ireland Provincial Government and the people of New Ireland and the public servant, represented by the administrator who's up here with us. Our sincere apologies for this inconvenience caused. But your contribution to this project in the manner in which you support him, this project logo, may play acknowledge him and recognize him right from the start. And of course, you will be the resident beneficiary of this project.
The official launching of the redevelopment of the East-West Highway in Manus Province took place yesterday. There to officiate at the launching ceremony was Deputy Prime Minister John Rosso. A total of 16 million kina check was presented to the contractor as an upfront payment.
Upon arrival at Momote Airport, the Speaker of Parliament and Manus Open member Job Pomat was at the airport to welcome the invited guests. Hundreds of people throughout the province gathered at the NBC beachfront to witness the ceremony. The guests and the members of Parliament were officially welcomed by the Governor for Manus, Charlie Benjamin. Governor Benjamin thanked the Pangu-led government for giving such services to his province.
We were fortunate and we believe Marape Rosso government will hold us at heart when considering projects in the future. Equal all people of Lomilo Manus, time walk Florodion, all Narapla walk to by Kamapim. Time walk electricity too by walk Kamap. All population. Woplo agriculture too, by come up strong.
Minister for Works and Highways Solan Mirisem highlighted that this initiative is part of the Marape Rosso government's policy to connect the missing links throughout the country. He further elaborated that this is one of the 6 projects that will be taking place in the coming months. Deputy Prime Minister John Rosso, in his keynote speech, explained the importance of having access to a good road network.
He is a key enabler, an important something strength and facilitator for socio-economic development. Nalo progress for country. Without good transport connection, you may ba karim kagol or backside na walkabout. Good roads enable development, enable economic prosperity. Enable him yumi lo walkabout go come lo access him services. One kind of some speak up lo yumi talk. He got pipeline man lo manus. He got 2,000 man lo na blah blah. But because lo importance is la government puti lo manus. Now you plow ko kisim disla roti kam lo here.
He assured the people and the leaders of Manus Province that this project will be completed from Lorengau to the western end of Manus Province. Rosso also asked the people to look after the contractors and not to demand for money when they reach their shores, but to support them. The event concluded with a group of people from the province giving gifts to the Deputy Prime Minister and the team as a way of appreciation.
On behalf of the Prime Minister, I declare him this now officially open.
Samantha Solomon, National EMTV News.
The Octedi Mining Limited, or OTML, will now be using a new container vessel. The vessel was welcomed in Port Moresby today.
As you can see, this is Fly Valiant, the new bulk and container vessels that will be used by Octedi Mining Limited in Tabubil to operate between Port of Kiunga and Port Moresby along the Fly River. The management team of P&O Maritime, OTML and other dignitaries were present to officially welcome the Fly Valiant vessel today at the main old wharf in Port Moresby. Youth from the South Fly district also performed the Kiwai dance, expressing their gratitude as this vessel will pass through their villages before reaching Kiunga Wharf and that it will bring services to them. Speaking at the welcoming ceremony, the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of OTML, Muse Wera, says it is another achievement that will help meet the needs of the mine.
We're investing in the business in terms of putting money into our processing facilities. We're going to be refleeting our mine hall equipment as well. And that is in order to take us to the next 10 years plus. So our life of mine is currently at 2032, and we want to extend that well beyond that date. We still have our resource, about 200 million tons of resource that's going to still be in the ground post-2032.
Ship crews and captain were encouraged to take precautions while traveling along the Fly River, as locals in 4 districts within Western Province depend on Fly River for transport and river foods.
As we sail the vessel up and down the Fly River, take note of our communities, the 152 villages that own land and waterways along the river system there, ensure that you take safe precautions.
This vessel will operate mainly between Kiunga and Port Moresby to support the mine. The company took possession of the first vessel, the Fly Enterprise, in September this year, and now the Fly Valiant, bringing the number of P&O Maritime Logistics vessels contracted to Otiumel to 11. These new vessels represent an extension of P&O Maritime Logistics and Otiomel's long-term partnership to ensuring smooth operations while investing in the success of the Okteri mining operation. This container vessel will be in use commencing this month. Jim John, National EMTV News.
The National AIDS Council Secretariat Acting Director Tony Lupiwa has announced the theme for this year's World AIDS Day. Mr. Lupiwa said last year there was no celebration due to the lack of funding, and this year they plan to make it different with the available funding they have. The launching was done at the National AIDS Council Secretariat head office in Port Moresby.
ASM manager Valentine Tango gave a brief background on the World AIDS Day.
41 years now, and the first World AIDS Day that was launched in 1988, I think, around the world, to commemorate World AIDS Day, especially thinking about people who have been affected by HIV and have died of the disease itself. So it's not just an ordinary event, but an important event as well.
Mr. Tango said over 58,000 people are affected by HIV/AIDS in the country. Since the discovery of HIV/AIDS up to the present day, many lives have been lost, and the statistics continue to increase daily on people who are living with HIV/AIDS.
Take part in this launching. Today there will be 10 people infected with HIV anywhere in Papua New Guinea, and 2 people will die today from HIV. I remember when HIV first came into PNG, and it started to rise, the numbers started to rise. We lost a lot of people to HIV.
Acting Director Tony Lupiwa said World Health Organization has set a date, which is December 1st, to observe annually to remember the people who have lost their lives and those who are fighting the disease. Mr. Lupiwa announced the 2022 World AIDS Day theme.
World's theme is equalize. And for us, for Papua New Guinea, our team has come up with our PNG theme in line with the world global theme. So for us, for PNG, we have PNG for equality, leaving no one behind. Everyone is equal. We must not leave one behind. We must not stigmatize, but prevent that person from accessing treatment, care, or support.
The theme can be used by the schools or other organizations to commemorate the day come December 1st. He is appealing to everyone to wear the color red on December 1st to show their support. Thomas Suliambari, National EMTV News.
National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us. You're watching National MTV News. An inaugural big data discussion for the blue and green economy was held this morning at the Gateway Hotel in Port Moresby, with the theme The Ties Between Sustainable Green and Blue Economy with ICT. This event was endorsed by the PNG National Forest Authority. This inaugural Big Data Breakfast event was intently for the blue and green economy. However, most of the discussions were focused on vitality of data collection in the country and to share innovation and capacity in nation building, with the topic Engineering Green Solutions for Sustainable Development. Panel discussions was held which saw experts in ICT that included Priscilla Kevin, the co-founder and vice president of the PNG Digital ICT Cluster, Dr. Raula Kula, assistant professor for the Nara Institute of Science and Technology in Japan, and David Chen, director for Huawei Academy at the University of Technology. With the vast use of technological tools, the need to address and make awareness of all the big data issues is vital. The discussions were focused on big data technology and tools, promoting STEM education and upskilling in PNG. Invited guest speaker Dr. Kula talked on how to sustain a smart, dependent and social software economic system for big data efforts.
Join ICT, and we've worked too long with sustainable green and blue, and we're going to help educate each other, because ICT knows the technologies and green and blue knows the problems.
During the panel discussion, Priscilla Kevin spoke on the policies that surrounds and governs data.
Hoping that through the Government Act, we can be able to support that transformation where we can exchange information. Just lastly, one of the things that we started off in 2014 was the use of the internet infrastructure. I think the telcos are in the room. The Internet Exchange Point program that was started up by NICTA, and to support the broadband reach. And that's to sort of create local content information to be stored here. We'd like to see something happen in that space.
David Chen, director for Huawei Academy at the University of Technology, elaborated on data security and privacy.
Data security can be seen as a huge branch of applied mathematics. Things like cryptographic algorithms, which you should use in court, which one that will not work because they're obsolete due to the improvement of advancement of computing power. To look at certain new laws we have to implement, for example, data privacy, to ensure when telcos are getting data from consumers, you have to actually secure their data.
The event today provided the avenue to identify problems in data utilization based on efficient evidences to make inclusive decisions so that measures could be taken to address the blue and green economy. A discussion on the urgency of ICT and mathematics in Papua New Guinea was emphasized by the director for the Huawei Academy at the University of Technology, David Chen. He made these statements in the inaugural Big Data discussion for the blue and green economy this morning at the Gateway Hotel in Port Moresby. Panel discussion held on the importance of ICT and big data for PNG, David Chen reasoned out that data revolves around the realms of mathematics. He emphasized that there is possible solution if there is a strong foundation of mathematics.
To be used to settle disputes. And the thing about data is that they're all made up of ones and zeros. If you make a copy of it, you can't really tell whether the one on your memory stick and the other located in your hard drive are different. They're exactly the same. And the only way we can tell the difference is to use cryptographic algorithms. And they, unfortunately, require a much more higher, more deeper level of understanding in mathematics. I really hope that sometime we should put more focus on the mathematical education in this country to ensure that the future of this country can grow into and be part of the fourth industrial revolution.
Chen furthermore, in his discussion, elaborated that ICT must not only be taught in the higher education schools, such as universities and technical schools.
And for the long view, I think, to ensure that we eventually build a sizable workforce in this particular industry to support its growth, we really need to look into not just our university curriculums, but to relook at some of the primary and secondary school curriculum to introduce ICT and mathematics.
The National Cultural Commission yesterday received a check of over 170,000 Kina Plus from the Indian High Commission in Port Moresby. Present to receive the check was Tourism Minister, Arts and Culture, E.C. Henry Leonard.
The funds received from the Indian High Commission through the check presentation yesterday to the National Cultural Commission, the money will be used to purchase desktop computers and laptops to enhance the work of the National Cultural Commission in promoting and preserving PNG's culture and tradition.
So this gift is timely because we can now use the software to preserve and protect it. And in the near future, you can retrieve it. You can retrieve it and you can use it whether for educational purposes, whether for research purposes, or even economic purposes in tourism.
Minister E.C. Leonard added with the recently launched cultural policy, NCC through this policy will promote, protect and preserve PNG's many diverse cultures and languages. He said the policy was stipulated in accordance with the country's constitution.
And culture is embedded and it's based and it's integrated into our local communities, whether it be in families, whether it be in tribal groupings, in clan groupings.
He added that the support from the Indian government and its people through the Office of the Indian High Commission only goes to show the great partnership that PNG has with India.
It signifies that close relationship that the people and government of India plus the people of Papua New Guinea, which is government, mutual cooperation. They've given us a check. I think it's worth about 170,000 plus. And that is purely for the purchase of IT equipment, desktop, laptops, and other facilities.
He said that moving forward and through this support, the National Cultural Commission will start its work to preserve and protect PNG's culture. Godwin Eki, National EMTV News.
Acting Hela Provincial Police Commander Senior Inspector Robin Bore has been promoted to head the police in Western Province. Senior Inspector Bore confirmed with EMTV News that his appointment was confirmed in an official circular released by the Police Commissioner David Manning.
Since the tragic news of the recovery of the body of late Senior Constable Nelson Kalimda almost 2 weeks ago, the immediate family are still awaiting the body of their father to arrive. Hela Acting Provincial Police Commander Senior Inspector Robin Bore has confirmed with MTV News via telephone from Tari earlier this afternoon that the body of the late Senior Constable Kalimda is still in Tari. He further said a total of 6 suspects are believed to be involved in this killing, which 2 have been arrested and are now in police custody, while 4 other suspects are still at large. PPC Bore has also confirmed that business houses, government entities and the general public in Hela's provincial capital Tari have staged a public house cry since Monday and have contributed in cash and kind towards the official house cry in Port Moresby. Meanwhile, MTV visited the family residence at the Red Sea Police Barracks today, where the official house cry is. The Kalimda family say they want the body of their late father to arrive soon, as the prolonged wait is unbearable at this time. It is understood the body of the late Senior Constable Nelson Kalimda is expected to arrive in Port Moresby by this week. Lindy Suharupa, National EMTV News.
Acting Hela Provincial Police Commander Senior Inspector Robin Bore has been promoted to head the police in Western Highlands Province. Senior Inspector Bore confirmed with MTV News that his appointment was confirmed in an official circular released by the Police Commissioner David Manning.
Senior Inspector Robin Bore was serving as Hela Provincial Election Coordinator, responsible for the security operations leading to the successful delivery of the 2022 National General Election in the Hela Province. Bore was serving as Hela Provincial Police Commander after the conclusion of the elections up until yesterday, when he was promoted as the new PPC of the Western Province. Eastern and Deputy Commander Chief Superintendent Joseph Tondop will be the new Hela Provincial Police Commander, replacing Senior Inspector Bore. Police Commissioner David Manning issued all directional transfers to take up their positions by November 30th, 2022. Lindy Suharupa, National MTV News.
And now looking at the Nest Fund market report, the kina closed unchanged at $0.2840 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, your kina was buying $0.2765 $0.4373 Australian dollars, $0.2765 euro, 40.63 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold is trading higher, coffee, cocoa, copra, and palm oil closed lower, crude oil is trading higher, and copper closed lower. On the stock market, the Dow Jones closed lower, the ASX 200 and the All Ordinaries are trading higher. National MTV News continues after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to National MTV News. The Kiunga District Hospital in North Fly, Western Province is now on scale-down operation. This is due to lack of basic medicines at the hospital. Patients are advised to buy their own medicines at private clinics and pharmacies in town, as health workers are attending to major cases. The hospital is yet to receive its medical supplies, which were airlifted from Port Moresby to Western Province 2 weeks ago. The International Training Institute in Port Moresby saw over 200 students graduated today. The Acting Secretary for Department of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, Dr. Francis Huluap-Momi, speaking during the graduation ceremony, said starting next year, DST will support the students with the HELP program.
ITI at its 58th graduation ceremony here at Calgary Foursquare Church Hall. Today's graduation ceremony comes with a theme, Intelligence plus Character is the goal of true education. So 211 students graduating under certificate and diploma programs. ITI is one of the largest privately run institutions in the country that has contributed to the economic development of this nation for many years. The Acting Secretary, Dr. Francis Huluap-Momi, stated that currently the Department of Higher Education is developing a national training package, and it is a standardized curriculum that is focused on specialized programs. He confirmed that the government is supporting the private institutions to be included in that package, and ITI is one of them.
Now, looking at the big investments that will be coming into supporting those private training institutions in terms of scholarship and loan, and also the curriculum that will be introduced starting next year going forward, will elevate the quality of our programs, not only in universities but also in technical colleges and other colleges such as basic colleges, so that when students graduate from any institutions, you can be employable not only in DAG, but also in the regional markets, the labor markets, and also the global markets.
Dr. Huluap-Momi thanked ITI for providing the opportunity for those students who did not make it into tertiary institutions.
Technology from ITI for its outstanding contribution to training and educating many of our grade 12 students who have come out of the system and are looking for opportunities to get further qualifications or upgrade the qualifications so that they can be part of the system in terms of getting into employment.
The Executive Director for the Employers Federation of Papua New Guinea, Florence Willie, who was the guest of honor, urged the graduates to balance personal matters with work expectations.
So there are some things the workplace will expect of you. Time management, arriving on time, punctuality, clocking in and clocking out, meeting your deadlines and the tasks that are set for you at the workplace. Your intelligence and character will grow over time. Your character grows with you, and your character will change with you depending on the environment you work in.
Esther Gane, National EMTV News.
At least 15 public servants from various government departments graduated recently from the Pacific Institute of Leadership and Governance under the Leadership and Governance Program in Port Moresby. The training is part of the Public Partnership Agreement between the SP Brewery and the Department of Personnel Management.
This is the 5th cohort graduation ceremony since the program was launched in 2017. PILAG CEO Michael Barraby highlighted that this program was purposely to mold and shape these young people to be better leaders who can lead this country with transparency and accountability, with the ability to lead and teach others to be leaders as well.
PNG's public sector leaders are expected to show actually 6 core values. That is, honesty must be in us, integrity. We must have accountability, account to every responsibility that has been given us, whether it's money or whether it's been duties. We must always respect others. We must always have wisdom, be able to make good decisions. And of course, responsibility must lie with us.
Barraby announced that these graduates were the pioneer to the program after reviewing and auditing. The program was extended to 6 weeks with additional courses. DPM Secretary Tai Sansan highlighted that under this program, 160 have already graduated from this program. She called on other private sectors to also come on board to assist the state to deliver such training to the public servants.
And once again, PILAG, SP Brewery Board Foundation has really delivered this program in partnership with the state. We also want to call on other private sector institutions around the country. We have our commercial banks there. We have those mining companies and those other private sector to also come on board to help the state, assist the government, and help deliver training programs for public servants.
General Manager of SP Corporate Affairs, John Neil Carrier, emphasized on the importance of having the public-private partnership.
Be one of those Facebook warriors sitting there and complaining and saying, "Oh, government, you're not doing enough. Government, you're not doing enough." Let's be proactive instead of reactive. And let's cut all this stuff out. And let's support the government. Let's support the public service, because at the end of the day, your performance, your good performance, reflects on my business as well. We're partners in all of this. We're development partners.
Neil Carrier says investing in public sector is good business and will work on reviewing the program and improve on it.
It's always good to review in certain timelines, and then whether you improve or you change or you maneuver around that one. So we're looking forward to working closely with the team here, Michael, Secretary, and moving this program forward.
This public-private partnership was launched in 2016 between SP Brewery through its SP Brewery Foundation, Inc. with the Department of Personnel Management and implemented by PILAG. Sharon Engnui, National EMTV News.
PNG reggae music artist, singer and songwriter Anslom Nakikus will once again represent PNG at the world stage this month. Anslom, who was invited by Kelera India to perform on their stage, is among hundreds of other musicians from various countries. He will not only represent PNG at the World Music Festival, but as an ambassador promoting PNG's culture and music.
PNG's very own reggae sensation and singer-songwriter who made headlines overseas through his reggae bits to creating and connecting with the outside world and creating a fan base overseas will again have the privilege to represent PNG at the Kerala Indian Music Festival. Yesterday, during a small but significant ceremony held between the National Cultural Commission and the Indian High Commission, witnessed NCC presenting a cheque of 5,000 kina to help support Anslom in his musical journey to India.
He'll be going to Kerala to showcase our music and promote our culture. For him, he'll be captured on a TV. And I think when they capture it on TV, it will go on the YouTube. And it will be watched globally. And people will now see Papua New Guinea's music, see and hear and feel. But at the same time, he'll be an ambassador to promote Papua New Guinea tourism industry.
Minister Leonard said Anslom, as the ambassador of the music industry, he will not only represent PNG at the world stage, but showcase PNG's many diverse cultures, languages and music. The reggae sensation thanked TPA and NCC for their support.
I've been invited by the government of Kerala, the tourism department, the government of Kerala, India, to be a part of this. So it's basically, it's called the International Independent Music Festival, but it's basically where all independent artists all around the world, we come together, we network together, and then we help each other. So and there's a big show. So I'm headlining the main act. I'm going to be the headliner on Wednesday the 9th. I go up on stage to do the 1-hour show, and then I think I come back on the 13th to close up the festival.
Anslom is set to leave the country for India next week to attend the Kerala Indian Music Festival. Godwin Eki, National EMTV News.
National EMTV News continues after the break with Trukai Sports. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. And PNG's National Men's Rugby League team, Kumuls, following their last successful match against the Cook Islanders, saw them qualify into the quarter-final round after defeating Wales with 36 points. PNG Kumuls are now awaiting to take on the England side this coming Sunday.
The most anticipated Rugby League World Cup brought together some of PNG's greatest rugby league talents from both the SP-PNG Hunters as well as the Australian NRL to represent PNG and to wear the red, black and gold colours.
What a runner he is, the hooker. The number 9, back to Lamb.
From Kumuls' home visit days before their travel to England, Kumuls were ever ready. Despite the tough contest between Tonga and PNG, Tonga took the win over the PNG side with the final score of 24-16. The loss by the Kumuls made them even stronger as they waited eagerly to beat their opponent in their second match. Lucky enough and with great performances at hand, Kumuls managed to defeat Cook Islands with 32 points to 16 in favour of the Kumuls.
16.
In their match against the Wales, PNG gave the Wales side a run for their money as they beat the Wales side with a whopping 36 points win to Wales 0 at the final hooter.
It's been a gritty performance this half, gritty performance from Wales.
PNG Kumuls are now on standby to take on the England side in their quarter-final match this Sunday at 12:30 a.m. PNG time. Godwin Eki, Trukai Sports.
Trukai Sports continues after the break. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome back to Trukai Sports. The Papua New Guinea Olympic Committee is preparing to deliver the IOC Managing Olympic Sport Organization's diploma program to commence in March 2023 in Port Moresby, following the successful delivery of the Papua New Guinea Managing Olympic Sport Organization Levels 1 and 2 training. The PNG MOSO 3 is expected to begin in March 2023. This follows on from the OSEP's Managing in Sports Organizations in Port Moresby, which will be completed at the Institute of Business Studies University campus at 6 Mile, Port Moresby from the 5th to 6th November 2022.
Focusing on building up the administrative capacities of the 14 national federations affiliated under the PNG-OC, these courses are aimed at upskilling current NF executives to encourage them to pursue succession plans and monitoring pathways for their sports retailing elite athletes and dedicated volunteers. It targets sports executives and volunteers that are actively involved in working with clubs or federations. Following current best practices globally, each NF team of candidates will be required to take back what they've learned and implement it immediately in their individual national federations. The modules, which will be delivered through a schedule of weekends, will be delivered by certified and recognized facilitators, with the inclusion of past PNG MOSO graduates that will be required to tutor participants. PNG-OC General Secretary Ovita Rapila said that the National Olympic Committee of Papua New Guinea was the only Oceania member country that was active in the delivery of Managing Sport Organizations course, which is a sports management diploma program of the International Olympic Committee. The PNG-OC has been delivering the International Olympic Committee diploma program since 2016. Godwin Eki, Trukai Sports.
And that ends the Trukai Sports. The Money Plus weather report is next. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by Money Plus, with you always.
Now we take a look at the weather report for the next 24 hours. In the southern region, Port Moresby City mostly fine, Popondetta partly cloudy with brief showers possible. In Momase region, Ley City few showers, Vanimo partly cloudy with few showers and possible thunderstorms. In the New Guinea Islands region, Lorengau, few showers, Buka, cloudy with showers and thunderstorms. In the Highlands region, Mount Hagen City becoming cloudy with some showers and possible thunderstorms, Mendi and Wabeg, cloudy with some showers and possible thunderstorms.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by Money Plus, with you always.
And that wraps up the news, sports and weather for Friday, the 4th of November, 2022. From all of us here, pleasant viewing. Bye for now.
This news program was proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Gold Nuggets.